Hi, I'm Gary Foreman, editor of thedollarstretcher.com. On today's Ask the Dollar Stretcher question comes from Lucy, and it's about borrowing from her 401k plan. Lucy writes, "We're going to buy a newer car. We'll need to borrow about $12,000 to pay for it. Our friends have suggested that the best way to finance it is by borrowing from our 401k plan at work. They say that the rate's cheaper than what we would pay somewhere else, and that way we'd be paying ourselves the interest. That sounds too easy. What's the catch?" Well, Lucy, it's a very good question, and you have a lot of company in asking it. Pension plan experts say that about 90% of all 401k plans do offer loans. And it's estimated that about 20% of the people who participate in a 401k plan and that are paying back a 401k loan. So there's a lot of people asking the same question. And your friends are right. You begin by comparing rates. The administrator sets the loan rate on a 401k plan. It can be higher or lower than what a bank or dealer might offer you on a car loan. Probably lower, though, in most cases. But that you have to remember, so that would mean that you'd be paying lower monthly rates, assuming that you paid back in the same period of time. But remember that if you borrow from your 401k, you're not just the borrower, but you're the lender too. And lenders want higher interest rates, and that's where the trick comes in. A lower interest rate now means that you'll have less money when you begin to take money out of your 401k at retirement. Now, you can estimate how much less you'll have in retirement, but that's a fairly complicated calculation. So we've included a calculator for you here, and we'll provide links to that. Now, once you go through that calculation, you'll have something to compare those lower car payments to. Now there's also a few other things to consider. The law specifies that a loan be repaid in less than 5 years or when the 401k account is closed. The one exception is that loans for primary residence can be repaid over 30 years. The tricky part is when the 401k account is closed. For instance, if you leave your job, you can expect to close your 401k plan. That means that you need to repay any loan balance in its fullness. And that could lead to some problems. Suppose you want to change jobs, but you can't because you'd have to repay that 401k loan. Or you might get laid off. Now you not only don't have your salary, but you're in a position where you have to repay the entire 401k loan. Naturally, you're going to ask, well, what happens if you can't pay it back? Well, there's an early withdrawal penalty of 10%, and it becomes added to your ordinary income for income tax purposes, which can be a problem because it could throw you into a higher income tax bracket, or could even cause you to have a payback on something like the Affordable Care Act because you earn more money than you estimated. So is a 401k loan a good idea? Well, it can be, but don't fool yourself. There are some costs to consider. So look at them before you make any decision. Lucy, we thank you for your question. We invite you to send your questions into Gary@Stretcher.com. And if you like this video, share it with your friends and give it a thumbs up. Make it a little easier for other people to find. We'll look forward to seeing you again on the next Ask the Dollar Stretcher.